Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, June 5th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks like we are good to go here. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Thanks now. There we go. All right, perfect. So as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here on the daily chart. I'm just gonna mark up the nearest levels. Kind of pointless to go super far off again like yesterday. There, there. Down to the 8 hour. Down to the 4 hour. Down to the 2 hour. So it looks like price is getting pretty near. Down to the 15-minute. And lastly, the 10-minute here. All right, looks good. All right, guys, so we got liquidity marked up here. Closest level above is going to be at 38,919. Closest level below is at 38,842. I kind of like the commas now. The comma makes it easier for us to see the difference. Hated it initially, but it's actually not too bad. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, June 5th. It is 6:29 right now. Market's going to open in about a minute. We had news over here at 4 o'clock, 5:15. We have more news at 6:45, 7, and 7:30. Let me mark that up real quick. 4, 5:15. So 4 o'clock. Right here. 5:15. Was right here. And we have news at 6:45. 7, 7:30. Usual. All right, market is now open, guys. Here is the opening candle. So we got market now open right here. Price going to drop down a little bit. There's a clean chart. I'll come back to that clean chart and I'll mark up the structure. Price is dumping right here. It's fine. Let it dump. Let it dump and then let you guys Let the market kind of stabilize a bit. Price just hit the lower level of liquidity right there at 38,842. I'm not sure if it actually pushed through yet, but it pretty much tapped it. Swung right back up. All right, so here's our clean chart. I'm gonna go to the 4 hour real quick. There hasn't really been much structure nearby, so I'm not really expecting too much here again. High-low indicator is kind of lagging a little bit here. Let me just refresh this chart. There we go. So we got structure down here. It's pretty far off. Let's go up to the 1 hour. All right, so we got, should do this one up here. All right, so price is actually rejecting off the 1 hour resistance from yesterday, or from Sunday actually. So strong rejection right there off the 1 hour resistance, and price is now down here. So I'll mark up new structure as price continues to move along, of course. Let's come back to our main chart. So our main chart over here, there's not really much going on. Price came down, rejected directly off the news price right here. So it came exactly to the news, and then it bounced right off. So it's going to sit tight. If price stays below here, that's perfectly fine. We'll see if the trend here shifts. Trend hasn't shifted yet, but if it does, fine. We'll use that to our advantage. All right, price is coming back to retest the news price right there. Let's see if it dumps down further. So price is currently at the news price right there. It established a lower low. So I mean, it has a pending lower low. If this lower low becomes established, that will be the support level. So we'll be able to identify where the range is happening right here between this resistance and possible support. Liquidity right there just got hit, guys. So if anybody caught it, nice work. If you guys didn't, it's fine. I know some people wait for like the second or third touch, like Nathan over here, probably waited for that third touch, went straight down and straight through. Looking at the levels over here. So price continues to, or actually price hasn't dropped below the whole number. So this is kind of interesting here that price came right to the whole number, and then it kind of just went sideways right here. It didn't necessarily change at all. Tom's asking what stop loss do you plan to use today? I'm always going to use 1020, guys. I'm not going to change it until it's necessary. The ATR here is not even that high. It's currently at 14 right now. There's no need to really change it. But for today and for every other day, I'm going to continue to use a 1020. If anything, I'm going to keep it at a 1 to 2, guys. So if anything, if I switch back up to 30, I'll switch it to 1530. I think that makes more sense, right? So I'm going to try to keep it as tight as possible with regard to risk to reward. Because of the new rules with Apex, of course. I don't want to go past that 30, that 1 to 3 criteria. So, because we didn't have that rule before, but now that we have that rule, it makes more sense. And also, if the volatility is high enough, it wouldn't be any different set and go for an extra 5 points. You just have to watch the trade. So yeah, that's what I'll be using for now, 1020. And then if we need to adjust to 1530, I'll adjust to 1530. But yeah, good question, guys. Anyways, looking at this right here, so looking where price is currently at right now, this is it's now broken below the whole number here. So what I would look for here, you don't necessarily have to look for it, but I'm looking at this as a confluence. If you see the momentum divergence happen below this point here, so basically the divergence over here shifts a little bit. So if this divergence over here shifts into bearish and it closes below the whole number right here, the 50 mark, I'm expecting price to probably come down pretty far. It might not happen in a single push, but eventually I think price is going to push down to this lower level right here. So just something to look out for. You don't have to look at it, but I mean, at least not yet, but that's something to look out for. It's going to be a confluence. I'm not going to take it as is, but of course, I'll be looking for possible sells if that becomes the case there, of course. As you guys can see, price is having trouble getting past news price right here. This is an area of manipulation. Again, this is why we don't trade around this area, because you guys can see how you get stuck and you can get trapped in fake outs. You guys see all these wicks right here? Huge wicks right here on the news candle, or news price actually. That was from this morning at, what was it, 4 o'clock? Yeah, 4 o'clock news from this morning. Price is respecting that price point pretty strong. We have high impact news at 6:45, S&P Global Services PMI, and S&P Global Composite PMI. Basically inflation news, high impact, of course. All right, so price is just sitting right here. There's nothing for us to take here right now. There's a possible momentum divergence coming up, but again, I don't think we'll be able to take it because it's right at the news price. So there is a momentum divergence here. This is also lining up with the levels. So I'm expecting price to come down further. So if this candle here closes as a strong red candle, possibly. Again, it's too close to news price here, so I'm not going to take this as a momentum divergence. If there was no news price here, I would have taken it, but as you can see, it's right at the news candle right here. So I'm not going to take it. I do think price will drop though. It'll probably drop down to the next full number. And there's the sessions down there as well. Thanks, Nick, for the heads up. Asia lows right there. Yeah, so unfortunately, I couldn't take the trade here. There's just too many red flags. It looks like it's going to hit TP too. Yeah, full TP right there. If you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. There's just too many red flags here. There's a session, there's news price. Unfortunately, just doesn't line up with my criteria there. But this is the setup that we would have looked for. Now going over here to the levels chart. So like I said earlier, I said if this crosses over, it's probably going to push down to the next level down there. So basically a 29-point move. I'll look for possible opportunities in between, but I don't think we'll have anything here because it's yeah, I'm just not expecting much to happen here. We also have news coming up pretty soon. Let's see, Drew said feels like a magnet always fills the gap from 5:30 news. If there's a good push in that direction, kind of acts like a magnet. Yeah, exactly, Drew. I agree 100%. So there he goes. Price pushes down to the whole number, the 800 mark. I mean, if you guys want to take this as a standalone strategy, you can do that as well. It's just, you got to remember that this doesn't always play out, right? It's just kind of risky because the thing is I haven't really tested it enough to figure out like what other criteria needs to be followed. I try to keep it like super duper simple because price typically does move from level to level. So maybe in the future, I'll keep incorporating this and then we'll be able to figure out, what else needs to be added to make it even better. Because I already add trend, add momentum. I think the main thing that I need to look for are possible fake outs or maybe even incorporate red flags because I don't really put red flags over here. And as you guys can see, price is rejecting directly off the sessions right here, which is, obvious red flag. That's probably something that can be avoided. So we got news in 5 minutes, guys. Probably going to hold off until news passes. There's too many red flags around this area anyway, so there's not much for us to take here. So we'll keep a lookout for this. This will probably come back down eventually. Probably bounce around a bit. News will probably come up and it'll spike right back down to hit TP. Let's see what the news is forecasted. So news is forecasted to be positive, but again, you guys know that that's not always the case. It's forecasted to be, so last month was 51.3, forecasting it to be 54.8. Yesterday, let's see, so this week. So yesterday, the news was negative, right? I mean, it's pretty mixed. PMI from Monday was negative and half of it was positive. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Again, price is still stuck within the sessions right here. Not really a good area to trade it. The ATR is good though. I like the ATR right now. It's pretty solid. It's not too high. It's not too low. It's just where it should be. Looks like we're back into normal market conditions, which is great. So we'll continue here and follow along. There's just nothing here yet for us to take or look at. PRB hasn't come up yet. PRB looks like it'll probably be for a sell. No breakout V3s here yet either. Let's go to our clean chart real quick. Is there a new structure here that's been set up? Not quite. So that lower low has been pushing down, guys. It hasn't finished yet. It's still climbing. So we're trying to establish the support, but the lower low just keeps pushed down. It keeps getting pushed down lower and lower. Looking over here at the levels, guys, full TP on that move that I showed you guys. So you guys can see this is a really good confluence. So the factors that I factored in was momentum, trend, and momentum divergence down here. You guys see how easy that is? Maybe at some point in the future, we can probably use this as a standalone strategy. The only problem with this here is that it doesn't use a fixed TP stop loss because it kind of depends on where it closes. So yeah, that's one of the downsides to this. It's kind of hard to take unless you have you're able to adjust your TP stop loss very quickly and identify how much you should be taking. So I'm kind of curious. Maybe I'll open a separate account, maybe with like a different prop firm, like maybe Top Step, and I'll just trade this separately because you can't trade this with the regular accounts, of course. But yeah, maybe I'll open a separate account with Top Step. I'll have a different screen here, and I'll just take this trade on it because it's a 1-to-1. So if it hits more often than not, it'll be profitable and useful, of course. But we'll save that for another day. It's not necessary right now. I'm going to stick to our traditional trading plan, which is taking these scalps in between our trading period here. So we got price retracing back up right here, perfectly fine. What I'm going to be looking for here is a possible V1 variation. So I'll look for this buy signal here to close. This will confirm the retracement. I'll look for price to push up a little bit, maybe come back down. Something like that. All right, so there's a possible CV entry right here. Again, it's at news price, and there's going to be news right here, so obviously I'm not going to take it. But this is a possible CV entry right here. There's a high with a green candle, a smaller red candle. So what I'm assuming is that this will probably fill this big green candle right here. There's just so many red flags in this area, so obviously we're not going to take anything, but just a heads up, this is a possible CV pattern if you guys are looking to see how they look like live. Because this is how they look like during live market conditions. I'm kind of glad that the news price is going to happen right next to each other. So we'll have like a bunch of red flags right here. We'll just wait for price to push down lower for our entry. So I'm glad all the red flags are kind of just in one area right here. All right, we got news in 3, 2, 1, high impact news right here. Come back and take a look at the news to see what it was. So the news has not been released yet, still pending. You guys can see this candle here. News was neutral and positive. Okay. So neutral and positive right there. Mixed news. There's no levels entry here. We need price to break structure again. So what we would need here is either price to break above, come back below, come back up, and come back below. So that's like one of the setups right there. The other setup that we can get is price drop below, retrace, come back below from there. All right, price is dumping down pretty nice right here. We have a pending sell signal. Okay, price is now below structure, below the Asia low. See if this continues dropping from here. All right, so it looks like price is reacting to the news right now because it just came out right there. So the CV entry right here would have hit full TP, guys, just like we mentioned. Looks like the CV entry right there went straight to full TP if anybody decided to take it. Again, it was at news candle, so I wouldn't have taken it, but I just want to show you guys there was another CV entry that came up right there. The lower levels of liquidity right here also got hit for full TPs. Anybody took those lower levels down there. All right, no sell signal yet. B1 pattern right here for reversal. Daniel, did you try to remove the pivots or the sessions indicator and put it back on? I'm pretty sure that would fix it. I don't see why it's. Well, what number is yours set at right now? Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure. It should be at the same level, unless you're using. So, do you have ETH down here? Electronic trading hours? Because the last time someone had regular trading hours, and that's why it was different. Because the pricing was different. Like their hours, their charts were like super off. That's the last time. That's weird. I don't know. So yeah, the only thing I can think of is if to remove it, like completely remove it, and then it's only Asia. Oh, that's weird. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a possible breakout B3 continuation that's setting up right here, guys, but I'm probably gonna hold off on this one right here specifically. Unless it's like a really big red candle. If we have like a pretty like solid red candle and it's like for sure gonna close red, then I'll possibly take it right here. But it's not looking like it's like, oh, it might. Okay, now that I've said that, looks like this could be a possible breakout V3 here, guys. So I'll keep watching it. Now it's too close to the sessions below. We got the London high right here. All right, so let's see. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take this as a breakout V3. Actually, never mind, take that back. I'm gonna sit out on this huge wick right there. Yeah, these are those FOMO moves that you guys see that at the last second it wicked off like super high. I mean, it's probably gonna hit, and it did hit, but it's all good. I didn't want to FOMO into that move. All the trades I lost last month were mainly because of FOMO, right? So here's the thing. If you guys see an entry, like I said, I would only take it if this candle over here was going to close like as a strong red candle. It didn't even look like it was going to close strong until like the last couple of seconds. And then at the last second, it spiked up. So just remember if that happens, I'm not going to take the trade, guys. Okay. I just want to make that super clear because I need to stay away from FOMO. Every trade I lost last month was pretty much based off FOMO. Even though these trades hit, last month was tricky. So learn my lesson. I'll let you guys know ahead of time. Okay, if this happens, then I'll take it. And if it wakes up like it did like that, so this is one thing to focus on. If you see these huge wicks like this, I'm for sure not going to take the trade, especially at the last second, because that's kind of what caught me in a couple trades last week where I took it and it wasn't even an entry. So just keep that in mind, guys. Just want to make sure that you guys are fully aware and you guys are able to follow along because I know this market moves super quickly sometimes. You're not able to see things. So let me go over here to see the PRB that you guys are mentioning. So we had, all right. So the PRB looks like it actually happened over here, guys. So, oh no, I take that back. Sorry, that was the first rejection. So the trend here shifted. First rejection right there. Price came back below. This was a second rejection. So the PRB happened on that candle that Rashida just mentioned. She's correct, 100%. That was the PRB entry right there. And it went straight to full TP. So if you guys took the PRB right there, nice work. Looks like everything pretty much hit today. All of liquidity here hit. PRB hit for full TP. Couple entries over here for the momentum divergence, CV, and then again right here, breakout V3 continuation, which happened unfortunately at this with this crazy candle right here. So did not take that trade, of course. But it's cool. I'm not really forcing any trades here, guys. I want to be very consistent. The great thing about this market is that the market is moving smooth again, right? The market's moving how it's supposed to. It just looks like we had a late start to the volatile market. The vol market was super slow pretty much all spring. And it looks like the market is now picking up for summer. So this is great. Daniel said he took the pivot over here with divergence. Nice work. CJ got it and Daniel got it. It's a great work right there, guys. Yeah, Jonathan said very wiki. Nick said would rather push down and fill a candle last second. I agree. Yeah, Jonathan said would like for it to stay below the sessions. Same here. So I think that'd probably be best case scenario if price stays below the sessions. If it swings back up and it comes back down, that could be okay too if we get a possible V1 variation or a CV entry. Looking over here at the levels, guys, price already broke past the structure and came down to the next level right here. So there's not going to be a levels entry right there. Levels entry might happen down here now. So I'll be looking for a red candle to break and close below the structure right here. So break below, retrace back up, come back below for a continuation. Got news over here at 7 o'clock. ATR is currently at 21. Pretty decent right now. All right. Price still hasn't broken close past structure right here at the 50 mark, 750. Yeah, I do like that it's split up now from the hundreds and the thousands. Makes it a lot easier to see. So price is below the 750 mark right here. Let's see if it actually closes below it. All right, perfect. So this could be setting up for a levels entry right here, guys. Price is below the 750 mark right now. I'll look for retracement. Continuation. Once we get that right there, this will probably come down to the next whole number again. Some heavy pushes to the downside today. There's no BB3 entry. Here's our clean chart. So I'm going to mark up some structure right here. This was the previous support. It's now a resistance. Looks like we might get another support down there as price continues to drop lower. This is our clean chart. Not really much going on here, as you guys can see. Liquidity down below got hit right there, full TP. All right, so we got news over here at 7 o'clock, about 4 minutes till news. We have ISM services, PMI, high impact. We have all the ISM news over here as well. So it's just inflation news, basically. Inflation news and overall economic news. You don't have to know exactly what it is. You just got to know that it's important. So we'll wait for that. And at 7:30, we have the gas stock change. Happens every month. It's every Wednesday. So much here. There's an MPS right here that came up, it looks like Daniel mentioned. So the MPS came up right here and it already hit TP, guys. So if you guys didn't take it, it's already too late. We had the sell signal here. Price came below. The green candle right here pushed above. This was the entry level at the 50 mark. and it already came down. So it actually triggered and it went straight down to full TP right there. Thanks, Daniel, for letting us know. So don't enter it now, it's too late, but it did come up right there. And it hit immediately on open. Tom is asking, do you keep your spreadsheet updated or have you started a new one? It's the same spreadsheet. It's updated every week. So it's updated as of last week, I believe. I think, yeah, last week. Last week was the last week of May. So for the most part, that one has been updated. Sometimes I update it during the week, like if we have a slow week, but this week's been pretty busy, so I haven't updated it. I'll probably update it again on Friday. Yeah, no problem, Tom. All right, so there's no CV entry here. This, yeah, there's no CV entry here at this point. Panels look too big. Yeah, Tom said I was looking at my journal, want to check versus your trades. Yeah, no, definitely. It helps. Journaling always helps, guys. So if you guys haven't journaled and you guys don't have consistency or you just don't know what you're doing wrong and stuff like that, I do recommend journaling. If you guys want to compare your journal to mine, if you want to use my journal, that's fine too. But journaling is going to make a huge difference. That's how I knew I messed up on my trades last week. I knew they were all FOMO because I put notes there for FOMO trade. So this week, I'm becoming more aware of like the mistakes that I made last month, so I don't do them again. So I think that's the best way to get better, guys. Because it's always it's always going to be based on you. You're always going to be responsible for your trades, right? I can't be responsible for your trades. Even if I'm taking trades and you guys are following my trades, you're the responsible one because you're the one that enters the trade. And that's like the main way to follow through and understand how it works. So we got news coming up right here, guys, at 7 o'clock. There's a divergence that is setting up like Nick said, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to take it if it does close because there is news right here. It's high impact, so I'm not going to mess with it. The news over here is forecasted to be positive. It was last month 49.4. And this over here is 50.8 forecasted. So it's forecasted to be positive. Yeah, exactly. Tom said on Tradeovate, it is nice to check your trade history and match with your journal. Yeah. I typically mark up well, it has a screenshot of the trade there too, so you can see the exact price entries as well. So super, super helpful. Again, guys, we have a divergence here that is possibly setting up. The only problem is that it's right at news, so we're not going to be able to take it. I was hoping price would maybe retrace up a little bit, bounce off the sessions, and then come back down. I mean, there's still a possibility that this can happen. Unless this candle here closes as a strong red candle, of course. And if that's the case, probably not. Yeah, Daniel said probably divergence with a high-low scalp. Exactly, right. All right, let's take a look at the levels. Yeah, so the levels here is actually going to play through. I mean, this is a good confluence though, so this is probably going to push down to the next level now. Yep, and there you go with the news. Damn, look at that news candle. Huge spike. Damn. That is nuts. The news is positive too. That's crazy, right? The news was positive. That thing spiked down like that's obviously some manipulation right there. The news was way better than expected. So they're forecasting it to be 50.8. It was 53.8. You know, they're just trying to wipe out people because like you guys can see over here, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are trying to take the buys here because they were forecasting it to be positive, and they just pretty much wiped out all the buyers right there. They're like, nope. Everyone is waiting for price to spike up, and price did the opposite and spike down. This is why we don't trade news, guys. I mean, I can't emphasize it enough. This is why we don't trade news. You know, a lot of people like to trade news. They like to gamble it. It's tricky. You know, I feel like Apex is gonna create a new rule where you can't trade news. You can't trade 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after, which is fine. It's gonna be fine for us because we don't care. We don't trade that way. But I'm pretty sure because people do this all the time. They try to trade news, and I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? But it's really just gambling. So I feel like Apex is going to create a new rule where you can't trade news. I don't think they have a rule right now, but they're going to have one eventually. You know, as people start to cheat or gamble more and more, there's going to be new rules, and you guys just can't be mad about it. I know some people are going to get mad about it because that's how people trade, but it's not going to affect us because we don't trade news. So, anyways, there goes a huge spike from news right there, and yeah, let's see where this goes. I know, right, Nick? Full TP on your strat. Nick's to divergence didn't even have time to process. Spike was so fast. Yeah, it spiked and then it whipsawed back up. So there may be opportunity here for a divergence still, guys. It looks like. I mean, there's no opportunity here for the levels because it already pushed through to the next level. We'd have to wait for it to happen again below here. So down here, swing up, come back down. All right, well, that's fine. We just gotta let it be now. So let's go over here to the clean chart. There's another structure right there, lower low. So you guys can see, this is what we call staircasing. If you guys haven't been with me for a while, we call it staircasing. Price establishes a low, comes back up, drops to the next staircase, comes back up, drops to the next staircase. So I just have a term for it where I call it staircasing. I mean, it could be whatever name you guys want it, but I think staircasing is just easy because it's like a staircase down or, you know, a staircase up, of course. So you guys are free to call things whatever you want to call it. You know, that's what a lot of people do anyways. They just repackage things. If you guys ever learn from different, it's so funny that you guys see that like through other people's stuff. Like you'll see that there's people who trade something, they call it a certain name, but realistically it's just support resistance. They just want to complicate it. For me, I don't know the name for this, so I just call it staircasing. If I find the actual name for it, or we could just call it a downtrend too. I think staircasing is just easier because it just looks like a staircase down. But yeah, a lot of people just create names for whatever they do, and some of them just don't make sense. I try to keep it as simple and as neutral as possible, so you know exactly what to call it when it happens. All right, we have a possible divergence here that's starting to set up. It's not there yet, but it is setting up. The levels over here does not count yet because, and there we go. We have a divergence on this specific candle right here, possibly. So this candle's got to close like pretty strong red for it to be a divergence. It's not looking like it right here, but we have like 40 seconds left on this candle, so we have a lot of time. Let's see, Volatility had a 50K account that was close to being blown. Drawdown was $100. Take a sell, made 300 out of it. Nice, well, nice recovery on that account. One and done deal. All right, so this candle does not look like it's going to close red. It's got to be a pretty strong red candle for me to want to take it. It's currently swinging back up right now. Yeah, so obviously no red candle right there. All right, price is climbing up a little bit. So right here, if this candle closes red, it's got to be a pretty strong red candle. I'll take this as a momentum divergence. You got 40 seconds left on it. The candle might be a little too big though. You got a lot of time on this candle, 30 seconds. All right, we got 10 seconds left on this candle. If it closes pretty solid, I'll take it. Candle is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's see, this entry was like right here. So I want to make sure the numbers are right. So it looks like got in a little better pricing. The candle was like really big though. So this is gonna be a little tricky if it retraces up. Hoping it just comes straight down. Gotta watch it though. So it looks like the volatility, there you go, full TP. So straight in, out,
Order filled.
right there. Momentum divergence. All right, finally got my entry for the day. I was just kind of worried because the candle was so big. Typically if the candle's so big like that, it retraces up. But I mean, it played out perfect. It did exactly what we wanted, spiked down in full TP. And there goes a momentum divergence for you guys. A lot of good entries today, guys, like 4 or 5. So 4 or 5 scalps here. We had like about 5 liquidity pushes, and then we had PRV full TP. Everything hit TP today. So it depends on whatever you took. I mean, you could have made a lot more profit than I did, but I think we did great for that right there. So, all right, guys, full TP on the momentum divergence. If you guys have props to post up, feel free to send them in. So that was a momentum divergence. All right, there we go. It's back to the charts. Let's see if there's anything else here. I don't see anything else here yet, but we will keep following along. There's some slippage on my personal account, but it's okay. Just a little bit. All right. Punch the stuff a little closer. All right, so let me just post this up real quick so that you guys can see where I'm at. Kind of tightened up my screenshot. I'll probably fix that later. But yeah, so back to the charts. There's nothing here yet for us to take. Price is obviously, super overextended. I don't even think there's a support here that's like the lower low just keeps getting dropped lower and lower. Yeah, no problem, guys. Looks like everybody here caught that trade. So it looks like Tom got it, Nick got it, Sadie got it, Akil got it, Nick, Steve, iPad caught it for 15. Nice work. Yeah, I think it's definitely overextended, guys. So just be careful with your guys' entries at this point. So let's measure it. So our entry happened down here. It was getting overextended. It wasn't there yet because it was at like 91 points. Now it's like dropped pretty far. So from this high right here to where price is currently at, it's down almost 150 points. So just be careful if you guys are looking to take any entries here. I mean, it's just up to you if you guys want to take it or not. But I'll keep looking for opportunities here. Let's go back to the levels real quick. Let's see if already marked up structure. So there's no levels entry here, or actually there was right here. So see how this candle broke below it? Came back above, came back below. The levels entry was a little bit smaller. It actually happened on our same entry that we took there as well for our, there's a 27-point move right there. So there may be another level set up right here. So see how this candle broke and closed below it? I would be looking for this to maybe swing back up for retracement, then come back down and come down to the next level down here. So that's kind of what I'm looking for right here as well. Nick said, dude, I got it last second. Had to run to wake up my daughter because she's getting late for school. Yeah, it's all Nick's fault. So your daughter's just gonna blame me when she gets to school late. Nick said it in my head. I was like, it's gonna push down for sure. So get back quick. He got back with 5 seconds to spare. Nice work, Nick. I know it's tough when you guys have kids. There's another guy here in our group that's actually local to me. I don't know, Phil, if you're on this live session right now. Phil actually, he does sales at the gym that I work out at, and he also trades with us, but he also has a kid. So I can only imagine your guys' struggle having to run around, get the kids ready, and then also trade. But made it happen, Nick, so that's good. All right, guys, so we got a retracement right here. Price broke and closed below the levels right here at the 650 mark. So I'm looking for this to retrace up and then come back below. If that happens, it's probably gonna push down to the next level right here. And next to now, my wife is the handler of that. We have a deal for the sake of trading, but she got shit sleep last night. Gotcha, Nick. Now it's good that you guys have that balance. Because yeah, it's hard. When you're trading, you have to focus. Like it's hard to not to be like really in the game when you're not focused. So good thing for you. Good thing for you is that your wife supports it. I think with Phil, he's trying to get to that point. He needs to get some payouts, he needs to be consistent, and then he'll get his wife on board, which makes sense. Not everyone's as open to trading as I guess a career, I just call that, until like you kind of shown your profitability. All right, so price hasn't retraced up here yet. I'm looking for it to break above the levels right here, 750, the 650 mark, and then come back down for a correction. Looking at our main chart here, we're finally getting a buy signal. This is kind of what we were waiting for. This buy signal is going to indicate the retracement. So once we have this retracement here, we'll be looking for it to come back down. So price is retracing up, and then we'll look for the correction right back down. Drew said, my son wakes up early and my wife blames me because I'm always up at 5. I know your son's trying to be a trader already, right, Drew? Starting him young. Got to get him up for these live sessions. All right, so let's see. We got the buy signal right there. There's no entries here yet, but we do have the buy signal right here. Price is kind of sitting down the middle. I'm gonna look for the retracement a little further up. Looking over here at the levels, price still has not broken and closed past the 650 mark. So we're looking for it to break and close above it, establish, a fake out. So basically what I'm looking for with these levels here is I'm looking for a fake out. I'm looking for price to break below, fake out above, and then come back below and hit the next level. That's simply what I'm looking for there. Doesn't always have to fake out, but the fake out is better. It's better to look for the fake out than to kind of jump into a trade blindly, of course. There's a new support level right here. It's a really small one. So this is our wrong chart. All right, so there's a lower low right here. As you guys can see, it's a very, very small support. But you guys can see the staircase that I was mentioning to you guys before. So you can see how price staircase is down, retrace, 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 and obviously continuation from there. Drew said, already sitting on my lap on my days off when I trade. Nice. Yeah, you guys will see Kodi up here too at some point, or Kai. I ordered them an office chair, an office chair for dogs. It's crazy. I'm surprised office chairs for dogs have not been invented. There's a brand new office chair. It was super expensive. Like I think it was like 1,500 for an office chair, but it's pretty cool. It's like a ladder and it comes up and there's a chair like that I could put right here next to me. So you'll probably see Kodi and Kai on the lives with me. When the chair is invented, it's still in the Kickstarter phase, so I paid for it already, but it's going to be coming in September. pretty interesting. I'm like, I should have invented that. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to see how it is. And then I'm going to find ways to make it better. Then I'll just invent my own chart. But again, that's out of the sphere of trading. It's just hobbies. But anyways, guys, back to the charts over here. So there's price is pushing back up right now. There's no full retracement yet. I'm basically looking for price to retrace up. Looks like price might consolidate here for a bit, maybe until news. But it does look like price is going into a bit of a consolidation phase right now. Here, while this is the case, I'm going to go to my Ninja real quick. I'm going to try to fix this a little bit here. Oops. So that works. Buttons. Okay. All right, cool. Just making sure my Ninja charts were all pretty much straightened out. Kind of hate how Ninja is like, well, Ninja's not that bad. I just hate being on a PC. I gotta make the decision. Actually, no, I'm not going to. I was thinking of switching over to PC completely and just have like a multiple screens on my chart, but I don't think I can. I'm too within the Apple ecosystem. So I think I'd probably stick with Mac for half of my stuff and then laptop just for executions. Let's see, Roz is asking, bless man, what time is news? News is at 7:30 over here, Roz. So it's just basic gas stock change. It's nothing super crazy. It's just gas stock change. It happens every Wednesday for the most part. Gas stocks, how they change if they go up, go down, etc. It's supposed to go down. I think I saw in the news, like in certain countries, there is a gas crisis. I think in Europe, actually, there's a gas crisis. So we'll I mean, it's forecasted here to be super negative too. So we'll see. Well, not super negative, but negative enough. But yeah, I don't think it's going to affect the market too much. It's the same news that happens pretty much like every week. It's just going to cause a little bit of disruption, but nothing too crazy. All right, so we're getting a sideways move here, guys. I mean, this is perfectly fine because we had a ton of entries that came up today. So as you guys can see over here, we had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 scalps for the day. We had our breakout for PRV over here for a full TP, and we had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 liquidity pushes right here as well. So if we don't have any more entries for the day, I'm fine with that. I'm just kind of thinking ahead because you guys can see how price is currently moving. This is the market that we don't want to trade in. This is kind of what was happening for the past couple of months, pretty much all day. Thankfully, the market's moved directional. I think what happened here is price just got a little too overextended and they're not ready. So the market makers don't want to push price up yet, as you can see. If they wanted to push price up, they would have pushed price up already, right? All the bigger players, they would have pushed this up. This would have recovered, but no. They're kind of just leaving it as is right here. And a lot of retail traders are just going back and forth. So retail traders are just trying to catch this as it goes back and forth from where it's currently at. There's not really any big players pushing price around because if they wanted to drop price further, they would have done that, right? If they wanted to push price up, they would have done that too. What this shows you, it just shows you that right now there's no liquidity in the market. There's no real liquidity, right? Because a normal retail trader like us, we're not going to be able to push price like this over here, right? Each share of the YM is 38,000, right? Who has 38,000 per share, right? You got to buy like thousands of shares of that. It's like 38 million in a sense. You have to have millions, if not billions, to push this around. So yeah, it looks like it's just a retail trap right here. Not really much going on. Retail is just kind of stuck. I mean, it sucks for whoever's stuck in the trade though. You know, if someone's stuck in this trade, that would suck. Like if you're in a position here and you're like, oh, I hope price pushes, there's nothing you can do about it. So it looks like this right here is pushing up a little bit. You want to be careful for this though. Like this is pushing up, but the thing that you also want to keep in mind is that this could be another trap. It's just like the market maker is like, oh, I'll just waste like $1 million or whatever, right? I'll inject a million buys into here. And then what are they going to do is when price climbs up and retail starts to climb it, they're going to rug pull on them, right? They're going to sell all their shares and it's going to come right back down, or all their contracts and it's going to come right back down. So just keep that in mind, guys. You know, whenever you guys see stuff like that, it's not always how it seems. There was a V1 variation that came up right here, actually. I didn't really see it because the candles were so small. But there was a V1 variation that happened right there. It was a double body rejection. Buy signal right here, double body rejection on this green and red candle, and then it came down a full TP right there. I'm not sure if anybody caught that, but that was a V1 variation. Very small candle. I don't think we'd be able to spot it. Probably looked like a doji at the time. And that's probably why we didn't really identify that there. Yeah, here, I'll put the calendar right here too, guys, for in case you guys want to check the news for yourself. There's what I use for the news. Completely free. It's my FX book. That's where I look at all the news. In case you guys are always curious or wondering, just know that that's when you should be avoiding when you should avoid the entries. Yeah, Ross said need price to push down. Yeah, definitely. I mean, price can push either direction for me. I don't really care too much for where it goes. But yeah, pushing down would be ideal because it just continue the drop. But also a push up would be necessary to confirm the retracement because there's going to have to be some sort of retracement or correction at some point. Price will retrace up a little bit and it'll come right back down. No problem with that. Works both ways. Riga is asking, Sean, which props are you with now? I'm only with Apex right now. So on my profits over here, so these are my profits for the day, guys. I didn't go over my profits yet. So the first one over here is my personal account. Right here, I locked in 465. That's my personal trading account, my personal money. And then all of these right here where I locked in 1,000, that was Apex. So I have 20 Apex accounts right here. I only use Apex. I tried to look for other prop firms, but a lot of them don't work well with copiers or they're just not as good. So I'm only using Apex right now. I'm starting my hedge fund this year, so the prop firms aren't really going to be much need for me anymore. I'll still use Apex, but I'm not really going to look into other prop firms because I'd rather just grow my hedge fund and trade my own money. So I don't have all these rules. I think the trailing drawdown rule is what sucks the most, of course. But yeah, when I'm trading my own money, the trailing drawdown is not going to affect me. I'll just have like a hard stop when I trade. So if you guys want to trade with Apex, here, I'll give you guys a link. A lot of people have been asking me about Apex lately. Or let me just put this over here real quick. I think I put it in the announcements. They currently have the discount right now. It's currently 90% off. And message is too long. Let's put this on here. I'm just putting the link on there, guys, if you guys want to sign up to Apex. It's 90% off, so it's like a really good deal. It's like 60 bucks for a 300K account. Super, super cheap. So there's double body rejection right here, guys. I didn't see it. The retracement's still happening right here, so I'm kind of glad that we didn't take it or we didn't see it. I'm going to use the V1 variation not as entry because I think price is correcting back up. I'm going to use it as a confluence. So I'm going to use it as a first initial confluence, kind of similar to what Nick was saying yesterday, right? So the thing that Nick was mentioning yesterday was using a confluence or using multiple confluences for your entry. So like the thing that Nick does here is he would look for something like a V1 variation. Well, I use that as a first confluence. That's the first initial confluence there. And then he would look for the momentum divergence, which would close, and then it'd be followed by a momentum signal. I think where price is currently moving right now, I'm not going to take that. I'm going to kind of hold off for a bit. And it's also not looking like there's going to be divergence there anyways, but on the next candle, possibly. So maybe not on this one, but maybe on the next one. I know this is what Nick typically looks at. So on this next candle over here could be the possible divergence. So if the divergence happens here, he's going to anticipate a sell signal to follow after, which with this setup right here actually looks pretty good. It looks like it established a resistance right there with the double body rejection. So the V1 variation actually looks like it hit, guys. So yeah, the V1 variation, if you take the V1, it did hit. It was a very tight move to stop loss though, but it came right back down super hard. And it went straight to full TP. So there was a V1 variation that came up right here. This is the one that we missed. I mean, I personally wouldn't have taken it because I would have waited for, a bit more confluence. But I mean, it still played through regardless of the fact. So this candle would have to close red, like Nick said. Candle did not close red. He wouldn't have taken it there as a divergence. Nice. Rashida actually caught the V1 variation. Nice work, Rashida. I mean, it looked decent. It's actually a CV entry as well. So it's a V1 variation and it's a CV. I probably would have maybe have taken it if I was following it. But, looking at it from hindsight, it's always different, right? It's always different when you see it later and you're like, okay, I would have taken that. But with you, Rashida, you actually took it. Like, you don't think twice. So you made the good decision of taking it right there. It could have happened. It could have not happened, but I'm glad it played out for you. So yeah, it's easy for me to say, oh, I wouldn't have taken it because it already happened, right? This retracement here happened. But for you, you didn't have that option. So I'm glad it played out for you. And this just goes to show that if you trust the strategy, it plays through. So CV and yeah, so now it still hasn't filled it yet, right? So I think price will continue dropping. There goes the sell signal that you were looking for, Nick. So the sell signal right there is currently pending. So yeah, if you would have taken the entry right here, I mean, it also would have hit full TP on the screen. Or if you would have taken this red one right here, it also looks like it's going to hit too, or about to at least. But again, there's news like right here. Either way, would have hit. So depending on which one you guys would want to have taken, it would have either entry would have hit V1 variation, divergence, etc., whatever you guys wanted to take. I just wanted to show you guys an example there. There's news right here at 7:30, so it wouldn't be a good time for me to take any entry to begin with, but just wanted to show you guys there are a couple opportunities that could have came up, but decided to skip, of course, based off FOMO. Nice. William said his new trading mug showed up this morning. So I have one too. I think a lot of you guys here got new gifts from Apex. I don't know if anybody else got one, but I got one. So I got a gift from Apex. They said I've been very consistent, so they gave me another gift. I got another sweater. I got it in XL this time, so it actually fits. Rashida got one, so I know I saw your post, Rashida. So Rashida got another gift. Looks like William got his gift as well. I probably should have just got a cup. I just was worried the cup was too small. A nice cup right here. So William just got his cup from Apex. If you guys are one of the top traders or top whatever in Apex, they typically send you a gift. I think you have to be in the top 50 percentile or maybe top 40 or top 30, something like that. But you guys got to think about it. There's so many traders in Apex. So if you guys think about it, if you're not doing super great, but you're doing okay, um, there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are like just blowing accounts below you. So just keep that in mind, guys. Like, that should be a confidence booster for you guys, because if you guys are doing good enough to be in the top 50 percentile of traders with Apex, you're doing something right? I think everybody here is in top 50 percentile. I think everybody here in the groups at least gotten a few gifts from Apex. I'm getting my second or third gift right now. They do it by month. So if you guys didn't get a gift last month, you probably weren't in that top percentile. If you got a gift this month, you were probably pretty decent. I'm kind of surprised that where I'm in that percentile, because May was not a good month for me. It was a break-even month for the most part. But I'm assuming majority of people blew accounts during May, that's why. So a bunch of people are blowing accounts and you're like top 50 of like top 50% of Apex traders, and they still send you a gift. It just seems like a lot of people are doing decent. William said, did you get it from Apex? Yeah, Apex sends it to you. They offer you, you should get an email if they chosen you to get something. Yeah, Rashida said the same thing. She only made like 4K last month. Yeah, HP, not yet. Not yet, but I'm like, yeah, I think that they just look for consistency. So they look to make sure that you're not blowing accounts. I think that's the main thing. Because if everybody's blowing accounts and you're still consistent and you're not like blowing stuff, you kind of still fall under the percentile. Yeah, because initially I got the gift from, like, the first gift was because I was on my PA accounts. So I got paid out on the first accounts, and that's why I figured that was a gift. Unless that gift is just, they just send me the gift super late and they're still from the older PA accounts that were funded. So I'm not sure like how it works, but I'm assuming if you just don't blow your accounts, you're fine. Were you guys asking which Apex accounts do you have? I have all my accounts are 300K. Riga. I don't recommend you do 300K initially, because they're going to take forever to pass unless you have like a consistent market. Like right now, we have a pretty consistent market, so profitability is pretty good. 50K is the easiest account. So if you do the 50K, you can probably pass that very quickly, like within a couple of weeks. With the 300K, it's going to take you, and if you're trading responsibly and properly, it's going to take you at least a month, maybe 2 months, because the profit goal is so high and the trailing drawdown is so low. So it's tough. I wouldn't recommend anything above 150K for someone who's not super, like, even for myself, it's difficult. So you guys can see I'm profitable for the most part, but getting to that threshold is pretty difficult. Or like HP said, you can do the 250K. So if you wanted to like take a well, I mean, if you don't care about it and you don't care about taking a long time to pass, like for example, for me, I don't care so much to get funded on all the accounts at once, because I still make a lot of money on my personal account, right? So I'm trading my personal account here, and I'm already making like 2,000-3,000 from just that account. So it yeah, obviously it's gonna, I have income coming from my own personal account, so it's not like I'm not in a rush. That's why, because the thing is, the hard part is just getting the 300Ks passed, right? Once you get those passed, you're like home free, because you guys can see how much profit's being made on these. So like once these are all passed and they're all done, then it's going to be worth the wait. So for me personally, I think it's worth the wait. But for the most part, if you don't have like profit coming in, you're not trading a personal account, then obviously the smaller accounts that would probably work best. I even thought about creating like some smaller accounts, get funded on those, and just get payouts to those while these are still working, which is something that can work as well. Like I can just start, because the thing with Apex is they don't they don't limit you on how many evals you can have. So you can do like 20, 50K accounts, uh, get funded on those pretty quickly within a couple of weeks, get payouts, and then once you're funded on your 300K accounts, you just swap them out. You just cancel the 50K and then you switch them over to the 300. Yeah, Regan. So I was funded 20 accounts with 150K before. That was like last month or yeah, a month and a half ago. So I was funded on those 150K accounts, and then I just thought, okay, this is super easy. I'm gonna switch from the 150K to the 300K. And the problem was I didn't realize how long it was gonna take to get those done. So yeah, I don't have the 150K accounts anymore that were all funded back in March or April. Now I'm running these 300K accounts, hopefully to get them done by the end of the month. I keep hoping that it's going to happen, but last month was a break-even month, so I was back to like break-even for the most part. And then now I'm climbing my way back up. So I'm at like 303,000. I need 320. So hopefully if the market stays this way, hopefully by the end of the month, it'll be done. But yeah, I had to make the switch from the 150K to 300. I kind of wish I stuck with the 150K for a while, because it would have made more sense. And then back then I didn't realize you could have as many evals as possible. I thought you could only have 20. So what happened was I canceled them and then I ended up going with these 300s when I could have just had like a bunch of accounts at once. So it's all good. You learn from it. I didn't know that stuff before. Because it's kind of crazy to have like 40 accounts with a prop firm. It just doesn't seem realistic. But they're okay with it. You just can only have 20 funded at a time. You could have unlimited evals. Yeah, now hopefully by the end of the month. But either way, I'm gonna keep sticking to the game plan. I already have my personal account, so I make money off that. I'll just withdraw whenever I need money, which I don't really need, of course. I already made a lot of profit over the last couple of years. So I'm kind of just sitting on my profit right now and then trying to get these 300Ks passed. Like I could probably not trade and not do anything for like a couple of years and still be good. Because last year was really good for us. If you guys remember, last year was pretty solid. I don't think we had any red months last year. So I stacked up a lot of profit on my personal accounts and then through FTMO and through all the other funding companies. And now I'm just trying to get this hedge fund going. Yeah, thanks for you. Yeah, so the hedge fund basically, the way that the hedge fund works is it's going to be very similar to like what I'm doing with prop firms. So like say for example, so see right here how I have like 20 accounts. I'll be doing this, but with like actual people's accounts. So like instead of me trading with Apex, I'll still be trading with Apex, but there'll probably be like 100 accounts here. So I'll probably be making instead of making 1,000 times 20, I'll be making like 1,000 times 100. So I'm making like 100K per trade. Yeah, that's basically how the hedge fund would work. We get into some sort of agreement. Obviously, there'll be a service fee and then a performance fee. So basically, I'll be trading people's accounts. You'll see like instead of 20 accounts here, you'll see like maybe 100 accounts, maybe 200 accounts. They'll all be everybody's profits. And then I take a percentage of that monthly. I'll take like a 50% cut, and then whoever wants the service, they pay a service fee as well. So it's like a win-win for all of us. When I win, everybody wins. But this would be a personal account. So I'm not going to be trading any Apex accounts. This got to be like real money because you can't copy the accounts to other Apex accounts. And I'll know if it's an Apex account because I'll have your login and I'll know if it's a real account or if it's not. The platform I use is NinjaTrader. So I think we all use NinjaTrader 8 for the most part. There's a lot of multiple platforms you can use. So I use NinjaTrader. There's also Trade8. There's also, you trade directly on TradingView. You can trade directly on here if you wanted. But I use NinjaTrader because that's where my copier is at. Again, guys, I know we're going off topic right here and I'm answering questions, but there's no entries for us right here. Just a heads up. Just want to make sure you guys are aware so you guys aren't kind of getting annoyed that we're talking about other stuff. But there's no entries here that are currently happening. Price is currently above the pivots over here. The trend might be shifting. It's currently 7:40, so we have about 20 minutes till 8. And Not sure if we'll get any more entries from now, so I'll just continue to answer questions. But for the most part, there's not really much going on here. Price was going sideways. Now it's kind of staircasing to the upside a little bit. Let me see if I can mark this structure here, if there is any structure. So there's structure right there. And you can see price is currently now ranging within this point right here. Here, let me scroll up real quick, and then I will see what other questions here. So yeah, HP said he got 250K since they're 18 bucks. Yeah, they're dirt cheap right now. HP is asking, do you have leverage on a personal account? What broker is it with? I use NinjaTrader. So I trade directly on NinjaTrader with NinjaTrader on their NinjaTrader platform. It just makes things easier because everything's all on one platform. They have their own broker, so that's what I use. NinjaTrader actually owns Tradeovate. So they work well with each other. Because NinjaTrader owns Tradeovate, they have their own broker, and then there's also Tradeovate and broker, which is pretty much the same thing. The leverage with them is like 1 to 100, I think, or one. Yeah, I think it's like 1 to 100. But you're on a cash account, so it just kind of depends on what you trade. The margin's different per per asset that you decide to trade. I think YM is probably the most expensive asset to trade. So going back to the question below, Henry is asking, what's a reasonable deposit for a personal account? So depending on how much you plan on trading, like for me, I trade 10 contracts on my personal account. You would need about like 10,000. If you want to trade smaller, you can start. I think 5,000 is probably the minimum, the bare minimum that I would trade with on futures with NinjaTrader, because you just need to cover the initial margin. I don't know what the initial margin is because it's different per asset. But for YM, I know 5,000 is probably like the bare minimum. If you go below that and you drop down like maybe 3,000, you'll probably get a margin call and they won't let you enter any trades. So you need about like 5,000 bare minimum, which is not a lot. It's not a lot. And you can still trade like one contract. So you're going to be risking like, maybe less than $100 per trade. I'm using 10 contracts, so I'm risking about 1,000 to make 500 because I'm doing the 1 to 2, which works for me because if you get on a decent winning streak, like for example, right now for the week so far, I'm currently up 1,638. So it's a good balance. And that's from 3 trades. Yeah, Rashida said she loves trading on TradingView. It's nice to trade on TradingView. It just sucks when there's issues, like if there's lag. But for the most part, it works out pretty solid. All right, let's see. So price is coming back down now, guys, as you guys can see here. There's not really much here to take. Nick, your entry looks like it came up right here. So price came down with a strong red candle. The divergence happened. And it looks like it played through. I'm not sure if he took it. It just hit right there just now. All right, William, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Henry's asking, does the trade copier work with TradingView? Well, you would have to have the copier set up on your NinjaTrader. Like you would have to have it set up on your NinjaTrader, but you can execute the trades on your TradingView. So once you have the copier set up on NinjaTrader, everything follows that main account. So whatever that main account does, whether you execute the trade on Tradeovate, TradingView, NinjaTrader, whatever you execute it on, it'll still copy on the other accounts. So the copier works. It doesn't necessarily work with TradingView, but it works how it's supposed to work. You can execute the trade on whatever platform you want, but the copier has to be on and it has to be active. So yeah, I know it's kind of annoying, but that's why I bought the whole laptop for separate trading because it's required. I wish there was an easier way to do it. Like I'm surprised NinjaTrader hasn't set up a Mac platform. It just doesn't make sense. Everybody's on Mac. It was the same with MT4, right? Everyone is wondering like when is MetaTrader coming to Mac? MetaTrader's been around for like 10, 20 years. They still haven't created a Mac port, which I think is crazy. Akil is asking what's a PA account. PA account is funded. So when you get funded with Apex, you have to pay a fee to activate it. That's why there's a PA activation fee. Let's see. Riga's asking, okay, thanks. What about your TP stop loss when you take those? Are those fixed? Yeah, it's always been fixed. So I always use a fixed TP stop loss. It's always 1020. Right now it's 1020. It changes sometimes. Sometimes 1020. If the volatility goes up very high, we'll do like 1530. I'm gonna try to stick to 1 to 2 because Apex rules have kind of changed a little bit where you can't be doing 1 to 3 anymore. Or 1 to 3 is the max, but you're kind of pushing it if you ever do 1 to 3. So I'm gonna keep it to 1 to 2 as much as possible. A 1 to 1 would be ideal, but because of the volatility, of course, 1 to 1 is damn near impossible. We might be able to do like a 2020, 15-15 at some point, but right now it's just not the time because the volatility is all over the place. So yeah, you should always have, like for me, when I trade Riga, I use a fixed contract size and I use a fixed TP stop loss. So I always know my risk. So the way that I've calculated my risk is I can risk up to 3 trades before I blow my account, which typically doesn't happen. I'd have to have 3 back-to-back losses, like literally back-to-back-to-back, which like almost never happens. Roz is asking, why did you stop with FTMO? So FTMO they don't service US clients anymore. They actually kicked out all US clients, even the funded US clients. So it sucks. I mean, they kicked out everybody basically from the US. Even the people who were funded, they were like, oh, you can still use us. But then they ended up just they just kicked everybody out recently. I don't know if anybody else here is using FTMO, but they sent out an email to all the US clients. They said, we're not going to pay you out anymore, basically. So we're going to be taking away your funded account. We're done. So yeah, FTMO does not work with anybody who lives in the US. And then also, so it's I forgot who messaged me. Someone messaged me and then Talanji. So I don't know if Talanji, if you're in here right now, but Talanji is one of our old members. He's been here for a long time. Like he's been trading with us for a super long time, for like I think almost since we started. So maybe like 5-6 years now. So Talanji's been trading with Apex. He actually lives in the UK, but he's a US citizen. It's crazy. So they've been forcing him, like basically he sent me this long message over here. He said they've been threatening him and forcing him to only risk 1% per max allocation per trade, or they're going to pretty much remove him. And it's crazy because he's been trading the same way we've been doing. So he's been doing the negative risk reward that we've been doing here, the 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and he's been profitable with FTMO. He's been getting paid out for over like 4 years now. And FTMO just all of a sudden was like, you can't do that anymore. They said you can't do that anymore. You can't use anything lower than a 1 to 1. And yeah, now he's moving over to Apex. So FTMO is going downhill, guys. I don't think they're going to be around. Well, they're probably going to be around, but they're not going to be as popular. They're not a top prop firm anymore because they're looking for ways not to pay people out, and it's just not a good look for them. They pretty much screwed over like all the US clients, and then now they're screwing over the US clients who are funded, and now they're screwing over people who are just profitable with them. So FTMO is going down, a downhill, like downward spiral with regard to their company. It's crazy because Talanji, he's been in our group for so long. He's been trading the same way that we've been trading. He's had no problems, gets payouts on time every single month, like we did before. And now they're telling him that he can't trade a 1 to 1, 1 to 2, or 1 to 3. And he's profitable. He's not doing anything crazy. He's trading. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend FTMO to anybody anymore. I think I've taken it off the website. I don't really recommend them to anybody. It's sad. It sucks because they were good. I mean, I made so much money with FTMO in the past. They were like the first prop firm I trusted and used. And unfortunately, they're going downhill. It's all about Apex now. So Apex is definitely a top dog in the prop firm space. The only thing with Apex that people don't like though is a trailing drawdown. So if you guys are like swing traders, or you guys trade like crazy crazy RRs, like if you're doing like a 1 to 10 to 1 RR or a 5 to 1 RR, you're probably not gonna like Apex because the parameters aren't good for those big moves. Because the trailing drawdown will like you can blow your account in profit because of the trailing drawdown during the eval phase. It's tough. Riga said he only take trades with smaller than well, I do 1 to 2. So yeah, 1 to 2 basically. Well, the trading hasn't changed, Riga. So if you've been following, I know you've been around for a while. The the trading hasn't changed. It's the same trading that we've been doing for the past 8 years now. It's the same thing. So nothing has changed. We're still trading the same way with Apex, even with their trailing drawdown rules. It's still the same thing. TP is the same, risk the same. It's about 1% risk per trade. Um, yeah, I mean, nothing's changed. Just because we're on Apex, we still trade the same way, the same TP stop loss, same risk, same RR. Nothing's really changed. It's pretty much same thing. So, all right, guys, it's 7:52 right now. I know we've gotten off topic for like the past 30 minutes. The reason for that is because there's no entries here coming up. As you guys can see, price has been going sideways for the past 10, 15, 30 minutes now. Price did come up a little bit here for a correction, but then it just kept going sideways. So there's not really much here going on. So if there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I think this is a good time to call it. There's not really any need for us to force any trades here because there's nothing going on. We have about 8 minutes till 8. I'm not expecting much to happen from now until then. Price will probably go back and forth between this area here and continue to go sideways until maybe 9 o'clock. Once 9 o'clock hits, price will probably move directional again. And see where it goes from there. But let me let's see. Bamal said BV3 continuation of double wick. Nice. Yeah, so there was a BV3 continuation right here. The only problem with this is that the trend wasn't confirmed yet. So it's not one that I would personally be like inclined to take. I probably would avoid it. But it did play through just like Ramal said right there. So if you guys wanted to take it, like I said, I'm giving you guys the foundation of the strategy, but you don't have to follow it the way I do it. Like if you want to take it and not factor in the trend, like if you want to turn off the pivots, that's perfectly fine, right? You just look for the reversal, breakout V3 continuation, and push the TP right there. So nice work, Ramal. I don't know if you caught that, but if you did, solid work. Just for me, I'm a careful trader, so I wouldn't have taken it myself. Anyways, let me add up my profit for the day. So I locked in, let's see, this is going to be pretty easy because the numbers here are all over the place, thankfully. So for the day so far, locked in 1,000 times 20, that's 20,000 plus 465. So 20,465 for the day. And then for the week so far, I'm currently up, let's see, how many should I add up here? All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so 3052 times 13 plus 1638 plus 3252 plus 3152 plus 3252 plus 3152 plus 3252 plus 3252. Dang, I'm up pretty heavy for the week so far. Okay, so right here for the day. So for the day plus 24,000 465 for the day. And then for the week, I'm up 60,626. Okay, so there are my profits for the day and the week so far. So here are all my accounts, my personal account above, and then my Apex accounts below. So total profit of 24,000. Sorry, the number there, that's not 24,000, it's 20,000. My bad. Got fat fingers. All right, so 20,465 for the day. And then for the week so far, currently up 60,626. So pretty solid day, pretty solid week so far, all wins. Looking over here at our team profits. So we got Tom over here, total profit of 2,400. Nice work, Tom. Great work right there. Solid profit. We got David here, total profit of 180 for the day. Nice work, David. We got Jonathan here, total profit of 880 per account. He has 3 accounts here, so well over 250 or 2,500 for the day. Nice work, Jonathan. And I think that's about it. So that looks like all the profits from today's live trading session. If you guys have more profits, post up. I know a bunch of people made profits today, but just haven't posted them up yet. So if you guys want to post them up, feel free to post them up, and then I will showcase you guys on the video posting of profits later today as well. Here's William's profits. William just posted his profits. Let me add them up over here. All right, William. So here's William's profits for the day. He locked in about $100 per account. He has 20 accounts here, so well over, let's say about 2,000 for the day. Nice work, William. So that's about it for the day. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, I think I've answered all the questions here so far. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. It's about 3 minutes till 8. Not really much happening here. Not expecting much to happen any further. Price will probably consolidate here for a bit. So if you guys need to trade, or if you guys don't need to trade, which I'm pretty sure nobody does, probably sit out until maybe 9 o'clock. Price will probably go sideways here for a bit. People are going to lunch, and then 9 o'clock, price will probably start moving again. So, all right, guys, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys.